when the global market is flooded by artificially cheap Chinese products, the viability of American and other foreign firms is put into question.
She made this point in an interview with the Wall Street Journal last week. She'd said, you know, the standard economics would say if a country can send you cheap goods, you should buy them and send them back, you know, the things that you can produce cheaply in return. That is standard economics. It's comparative advantage. It's one of the most sort of fundamental principles of trade economics for 200 years. Now, what is clearly happening at the moment is you know, other countries other than China are concerned at the scale and efficiency of China's clean tech sector, and they fear that is a competitive threat to their own clean tech sectors. But looking at it in terms of the pure economics, is it artificially cheap, as she was saying? I think if you look at the firm-level data of individual companies, you don't see the evidence of subsidies that are getting talked about. What you see is a very large and very competitive industry. You saw in that clip Janet Yellen talking about, like, there is you know, vastly more capacity than demand would suggest. But if you compare, say, planned capacity against what the International Energy Agency says is going to be necessary if we want to reach net zero by 2030, in hardly any of these sectors are you actually seeing any overcapacity. So, you know, I would go back to what Yellen said in the first place. You know, if a country sends you stuff cheaply, you should send them a thank you note. If a country is manufacturing the capacity to get to net zero cheaply, again, you should send them a thank you note.